Good afternoon, CIS Composition class. Let me just go to your class here. This is Captain Medina. Sorry I'm gone on the first day of school here, but I'm just recovering from being sick over break and still have some symptoms. So hopefully I'll be back on Wednesday. But I just wanted to get you started and introduce you to this the CIS course. So I don't have anything in the folders yet for us to look at, but I will be putting some things in actually after I make this video. So there will be something in week 1 that you'll be able to work on after I've gone over this video. I'll put it in the folder tonight before you start school tomorrow. But I did want to have a little discussion with you about this course and go over the syllabus. I am not putting it in Schoology yet because I have to add some due dates into it, but I wanted to go over the syllabus with you today just so you had an idea of what this course is about. Again, this is a college course through SMSU, and I am your instructor. There's also an instructor at SMSU. His name is Michael Albright, and this is what the syllabus looks like here. So you are taking a class. It's called English 151. Actually, it's called College Writing. And so in English 151, the course description from SMSU's course catalog says this course will enable students to determine a writing purpose, generate ideas to support a topic, determine an audience, develop a focus, and organize a written text, including both personal or reflective writing, as well as expository writing and argument. At least 2 papers will involve a research component through which students begin to learn the conventions of citation documentation. Furthermore, the class will enable students to learn how purpose and audience affect the content, language, and form of a written text. So there are 2 textbooks, and Mrs. Wabi should have or will be giving you the one of the texts. It's called The St. Martin's Guide to Writing by Axelrod and Cooper. It is a green book and is a very large textbook. There's another short book called They Say, I Say that we'll be looking at as well and doing some work with. So, this is a research class. You're going to be researching an issue and writing about that issue all semester. So, it is necessary to begin the research process early to avoid running out of time with the research argument essay at the end of the semester. A requirement for all research is that students will only use credible university sources from the SMSU Library Portal or SMSU Library. So we're not going to be doing research from the good old internet. We're going to be using library portals and databases. We may get a couple books, but we're not going to be using the high school databases such as the ELM or some other things like that. We will, however, look at something called Google Scholar, and so we'll talk more about that as we go through this course. Now, this course is it grows upon itself. So, sorry, I had to get a drink of water here. So there's major papers and the major papers, metacognitive papers. So one of the things we're going to read about or start working on this week is just reading about inquiry, academic inquiry, and what that is, the writing process, and looking at writing in a little different way. Now, these due dates are from last year, so I got to change them. But there's 3 major essays, or 4. The first one is called Explain a Concept. So what you're going to do in the next few weeks is you're actually going to choose a debatable topic that has more than one side, more than one viewpoint, and that is going to be the focus of your writing this semester. So as you're thinking about this, think about something that you're interested in or something that you maybe have a passion about or you're a question about or curiosity about. So this debatable topic, the first paper, you're just going to explain this concept. So, for example, if you did the topic of abortion, the Explain a Concept essay would not be an essay where you would state your viewpoint on abortion. You just basically explain that concept. What is it? Where did it come from? How did it originate? So just, it's almost like a research report on your debatable topic, and just looking at the concepts in a broad sense. So we'll talk about how we do that in this course. And then after you've done your explain a concept essay, you will then present critical viewpoints, opposing viewpoints on the sides of the topic. So this debatable topic, you would actually look at both sides and present objectively both sides of the issue. And that's the second one. And then the final one is the research argument, which is basically where you've taken what you've learned. And you have come up with a research-based argument about your topic, and you're going to use the research to prove and argue for the side that you believe in. So that's kind of the culminating paper, the three main papers. There's also this thing called the annotated bibliography, which is basically like a works cited page from your research paper, but an annotated bibliography is actually where you actually write about all the articles you read for your topic. So brief summary of all the articles, the main articles, comment about their credibility, the source, comment justifying the writer's choice, whether to use it or not in your paper. So you might have read something and decided later, no, that's not a good source. But it's a running bibliography. So we're going to start that, and we'll be adding to that as we go through this course. You're going to be reading a lot of articles, doing a lot of annotating of articles, summarizing of the articles. And so this document, this living document, is going to be the place where you're going to just record things about the articles you've read. And so at the end of the semester, all you would really have to do is turn it in, because you're going to be working on it all semester. So those three main papers are the main ones. And then we have, it says here, please note each major essay, including the annotated bibliography, will be followed by a metacognitive essay in which students reflect on their writing and thinking process and speculate about how those processes impacted their final essay product. So metacognition is thinking about thinking. So you're going to be thinking about what you thought and what you wrote, and you're going to be reflecting on that. So that's something that you're going to be doing after each essay. It'll be an in-class essay that you'll write about that process, that essay, how you think you did. And then the essay 5 is a culminating metacognitive reflection. We'll do that on the last day of class probably. Is where you basically reflect on your experiences in this course and your entrance into the academic discourse community. So the idea of engaging in a conversation about something is what they focus on. So the essays are sequenced in order of length and complexity, beginning with the expository explaining concept, progressing to the expository explaining critical viewpoint, and then going on to the argument. The goal of this essay sequence is to foster independent scholarship, academic research, critical thinking, and expository and persuasive writing skills, and a logical guided progression. Ideally, students should select one main research focus and maintain that focus throughout the sequence of essays so that they get to know one area of research in depth. All right, after turning in each major essay of the annotated bibliography, students will write 2 to 3 page reflection on their process of writing and researching. The goal of the metacognitive essay is to help students examine their experiences as writers and tell their stories as budding independent researchers and academic writers. So, that's a little bit about this course. The grading scale is here, so those are your grades. 93 to 100 is an A. 90 to 92 is an A minus. 87 to 89 B plus. 83 86 B. 80 to 82 B minus, and so on and so forth. At least 70% of the final grade for the course is based on the final grade of each 4 major papers. So basically, 70% of your grade is based on the final scores for those major papers. In addition to the 5 major assignments in this course. Alright, in addition to the 5 major assignments in this course, you'll be exposed to academic writing examples in a required textbook and other selected articles. There will be short summary writing assignments in class and out of class Furthermore, students will improve grammar and usage through no writing assignments, practice, and assessments. So course grade percentages. 10% of your grade is going to be your drafts, short writing prompts, and metacognitive essays. 10% is going to be the grammar. 70% your major essay scores. 10% reading comprehension. So scores will fit in one of those categories. Paper expectations. All drafts must be word processed and follow MLA guidelines. Students must complete all the major papers to pass this course. Okay, again, this is a college course. You must complete all the major papers to pass this course. Failure to complete any one of the major papers is grounds for failing the course. Students are expected to make copies of your paper handed out to group members, instructor at any due date, and to have those ready at the beginning of the class. And I'll let you know when that is apparent. Attendance is mandatory and will be taken at the beginning of each class. Excessive absences will affect the final grade in this course. So I can change your grade based on your attendance. Students are expected to be fully present, engaged during class, prepared and willing to work collaboratively in a positive manner with classmates. We will workshop all of our major papers for this class. Being a critical reader helps students to create the best possible final version of the paper, benefiting everyone. Negative comments and attitudes towards one another are not productive, will not be tolerated, and may affect the final grade for this course. So basically, even though I don't have an RPD grade, I can change your grade based on your behavior and use of expectations. Cell phones and other technology should not interrupt class. Turn off cell phones and remove all earbuds, headphones. Photos, videos should not be taken in class unless you have written permission. Instructor has been informed beforehand. So these are just college expectations. Late work is not accepted. This is maybe something that's going to be a challenge for some of you. Captain Medina always accepts late work, but Professor Medina does not. Individual exceptions may be considered if students contact me no less than 24 hours prior to the due date. However, not completing any of the 4 major course assignments results in failure of the course. Absence from class does not preclude you from due dates, nor do computer problems. So you don't get the same luxury of if you're gone for a day, you get 2 days to make up an assignment in a college course. This is a college course. So things need to be turned in on time. So you will know the due dates, and you will need to make sure that you have things done on time. If any student has documented disability, notify me immediately. So that's just accommodations, discrimination. The plagiarism policy here, we will talk about this more, but this is the policy from St. Mary's, or not St. Mary's, Southwest, SMSU, sorry. And plagiarism will include but not limited to the following: submitting someone else's work or ideas as your own, including but not limited to homework assignments, papers, research reports, group projects, artistic works, tests, or class presentations. Submitting someone else's electronic work as your own, including video clips, audio clips, electronic files, and so on. So there's a lot of stuff there. You want to read that. Submitting someone else's work as your own, minor alterations, paraphrasing without proper citation is also plagiarism. You want to make sure you know how to cite your work. Submitting someone else's work without appropriate use of quotations, paraphrases, footnotes, or references. And then academic honesty. The aim of the academic honesty policy is to maintain the academic integrity of Southwest Minnesota State University and promote intellectual climate of honesty and integrity. Any offenses against the honesty policy compromise the educational integrity of Southwest Minnesota State University and will be considered grave offense. A grave offense. All right, so and then it talks about transferring, college now statement. So that's the syllabus that you're going to get soon. We have a little bit of time left. I just want to tell you about your assignment that you're going to work on. So in the book, The St. Martin's Guide to Writing, you're going to read pages 1 through 12. It's the introduction, says thinking about writing. Now within that reading assignment, I want you to take notes in your notebook about what you think are important details. So I want you to write them down on paper. And then I also want you to complete the reflections in this little section. There will be a Google Doc on Schoology that you will type your reflections on, and that will be posted by the time you're listening to this now. So you're going to read page 1 through 12 and do the reflections. and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.